Come on, BTC.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is 11 a.m. on the 20th of June, which I believe is the summer solstice, which is the longest day of the year. I hope you are all doing well, and believe you me, this will not be the longest stream of the year. We have a lot to get through. As always, we have some news. We have some news I've not included. It's been a busy day, which is good for crypto, especially as hopefully we will see some kind of relief bounce or rally or something over the next day or so to bring us back up. I think it's on the cards. Everything points to some kind of relief, Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe over the weekend. But I think it's positive, and that's the time. That's the theme of the show today, which is time to move. Or is that Timotei move? Let me just double check. There is a space in there. Let me fix this. There we go. So, a few shout outs before we begin. It's very quiet today. I imagine most people are still crying over the Bitcoin price. Good morning, Hidden Agendas, Velvet Rope, and Mags. I hope you're all well. Remember, if you're in chat, say hello. And the question of the day is, what have you been buying? Have you been buying RWA? Have you been buying layer 1, layer 2s? Have you been buying AI tokens? Have you been buying small caps? Let me know in chat what you've been picking up. What bargains have you managed to get today? We are going to go through Bitcoin all-time high. When is that likely to be? When's the next all-time high going to happen? $22,000 ETH. It doesn't sound as crazy as it looks on the screen right now, believe it or not. We're going to talk about Alamode and its use of Chainlink. We're going to talk about FET. FET is Fetch, obviously. The AI merge was supposed to happen this month. It didn't happen. Loads of FUD around it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about memes. The market cap of memes is starting to shrink. And then we're going to look at iExec RLC, which is a token which somebody suggested yesterday we should take a look at. I am going to have a look at it. I've not had a chance to do half of the videos that people want because we have our own videos to make and it takes up an awful lot of time. Believe it or not, to make a 10-minute video or a 12-minute video can take about 2 to 2.5 hours. And in a day, that's an awful lot of time. So I can't keep up with all of the requests. I do try and pick out some of the better ones. Now, before we begin all of that, should we go and have a look at what is happening in the markets? Market cap is up just a touch, but again, nothing to write home about. Volume is down considerably, a very low volume for where we really are. I mean, it's a sign the bears are tired, the bulls are tired, everybody's just exhausted. We've been here for 3 months, or what feels like maybe 3.5 months now. Everything is just in a little bit of limbo. Bitcoin Ethereum dominance hasn't changed at all since we spoke about it yesterday. And if we look at the markets, I did say we were going to come up yesterday. I think we've come up to 65.8. It's not really much of a move. It's 0.2% over the last 24 hours. Ethereum has moved up 1.5%. I think we are expecting some news about the Ethereum ETF anytime now. BNB has had a bit of a move up, but not a lot. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about in the markets. Solana is still sitting at 137. There's a lot of work to do for some of these coins to get back on track. Some of them are in worse shape than others. 24-hour gainers, as you would expect. And as I was highlighting, Fetch and Singularity are up 32% and 29% in a day. Why is that? Well, they've retraced an awful lot over the last month, primarily because of the merge. The merge didn't happen. It was supposed to happen this month. It's been delayed till July. Then some exchanges came out and said that they were going to delist some of these coins. That was also bearish news. They weren't delisting the coins. They were removing the coins to replace them with ASI. So that went horribly wrong. They've all plummeted. Now they're starting to take back some of their losses. We are still a long way from $2.50, $3 for FET. We're still a long way from $1.50 for Singularity. So they've got a lot of way to go. But again, if you've managed to catch these yesterday, then I was highlighting some of them yesterday. They were good coins to pick. I didn't expect them to rally so quickly, however. WorldCoin again was one of the worst losers yesterday. Sui is up a touch. Ondo, one of my new picks, is up. Near is up. Remember, Near is a bargain, 540. I was getting it at 580 and 6. They're good prices. Now, I'm not saying that they're not going to go down any further. I'm saying they're very good prices to pick these coins up at. Dupe as well, down at 78 cents. Massive news about Dupe that we've got in the X-Files in a minute. And 24-hour losers are really not an awful lot. Is down. Uniswap a touch. Jasmy a touch. Solana a touch. Not really a lot down there. Polkadot has got some good news coming out about its plans for real world assets, but I'm just not a fan of Polkadot, so I'm not going to cover it. Good morning to Danny. Welcome to the stream. Very quiet today. Very quiet. I'd say we are down about 50% on where we are normally with regards to the number of people that are in here across the different channels. And I think the market really is taking its toll on a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people that are just fed up with these prices. They're fed up with the constant sideways, downwards, sideways action. But that's what they do. They want to get rid of you. They want to shake you off. And that's just what they do. Now, I made a video. We'll go back to it on DJT. I made a video and I said, don't buy this token. It's a scam. And over the last 48 hours, it has come to light. Zach XBT, who we've covered on this channel many times before, he has released information identifying Martin Shkreli as the person who was behind the coin. Now, why is that interesting? It's interesting because this person has previous history of trying to derail Donald Trump. He believes, this is Zach and a few others, that Martin has done this to purposely make Donald Trump look like he doesn't know what he's talking about with crypto, scam people under the name of Donald Trump, all of these things. Donald Trump's business is actually called, one of Donald Trump's businesses is called DJT. That isn't a coincidence either. So Zach proved without a shadow of a doubt it was Martin. We're not going to go into it in too much depth, but Martin did reach out to Zach, telling Zach not to release the information, and then he released it himself, coming out as the person who launched the coin. So there's all kinds of skullduggery going on behind those coins. Remember, if you are watching, this is really important today of all days because the viewers are so low. Smash the like button, say hello in chat. The more you type in chat, the more the algorithm likes us. We are nearly at 140,000 followers. So if you can follow us, if you can like, if you can comment, all of those things help us. Now, Cointelegraph, Bitcoin bears are targeting $60,000 as the next Bitcoin price destination, but a few altcoins continue to flash bullish signals. We are flashing bullish signals everywhere. Good morning, Solo Sky. Welcome to the stream. We're flashing bullish signals everywhere. Everything. The RSI is pointing to a move up. The fib levels that some of these coins are at, the resistance levels, the support levels some of these coins are at, it's all pointing up. Now, this was linked to the first article, so we'll go through this very quickly. He announced that he was going to claim the bounty. Martin panic DM'd me. He then creates the spaces and announces that he's the creator of DJT. So that's Zach's actual post on it. It wasn't me just making up the story. It is actually out there. So, as I said, lots of skullduggery going on in the market, and that could lead to some kind of prosecution against this gentleman, but we're not going to talk about that. Now, this is massive news. All of you out there that are holding Dupe, you all know how we all love Dupe. People are giving different price targets for Dupe in the bull run. My personal target is about $5 to $6, maybe more. Other people are talking about a $14 and $15 Dupe. Now, I would never have suggested we're going to get near $15 until yesterday, because things can change. Jupiter Exchange has prepared a proposal that aims to burn 30% of the total supply. That is $2.3 billion at today's prices. Obviously, if we go back to where we were, $1.50, that would be $4.5 billion burned. This reduction of supply will be deducted from the team allocation and won't impact the annual Dupe airdrops to the community. Remember, if you're in Dupe and you use Dupe and you stake Dupe, you get an annual allocation. If you take part in the LFG, which is the voting on the coins to be dropped, you also get Dupe. You get lots of benefits from being in Jupiter. Burning 30% of the total supply will do nothing but push the price up in the long term. It's an incredible. We've gone from a 10 billion circulating supply to a 7 billion circulating supply. It's incredible. And remember, only a fraction of those are in circulation. So if you're wondering why I'm talking about a $5 or $10 dupe, it's because those coins are only going to be released over a very long period of time, 4 or 5 years. So we know about the emissions, but the holders themselves will be getting the tokens, not third parties. So massively bullish news about dupe. If you don't hold dupe, I would suggest you go and do your own research and look to top up your bags. Under $1 is an absolute steal. There are so many bargains out there right now for you to go and get in all of the different markets. That includes AI, that includes real world assets, that includes layer ones, layer twos. They're all at really good prices. Yes, we can go lower. Of course we can. Good morning, civils, or civis, should I say. I hope you are doing well. So the trick here on these corrections is to pick and choose. You don't go into a supermarket that has its January sales and just start buying everything, do you? You go through and you pick out the coins that you want to buy that you might have missed out on. And that's why these price corrections are an opportunity for you to pick up some bargains. Now, there are some meme coins. I'm not doing this to highlight the meme coins. It just happens to coincide with it. There are meme coins that have retraced an awfully long way that still have a lot of time to go. Doge, Pepe, Dog, Mew, Daddy, even Daddy is down at $73 million. You could possibly get some bargains there. Coffee and crypto warehouse, my favorite combination. Do you know what? I think that's a great combination as well. I have coffee and I am obviously streaming this morning. So what I'm saying to you is look at what's retraced the most and ask yourself, are there some bargains? We did this yesterday, but there's no harm in doing it again before we move on. That was the last X-Files. Over the last 30 days, if we go to what has retraced the most over the last 30 days, you can't see it because it's off the screen on the right hand side, but that doesn't matter. Some of these coins are not as bad as 30 and 40% retracements. Some of them are, of course. Arweave, good project. Jupiter is down 35%. Jupiter is the big. If Solana fails, Jupiter fails. If Solana wins, Jupiter wins. Jupiter is the unicorn on Solana. So Jupiter is a massive coin to pick up. That's down 35%. Wormhole is down 34%. Another massive coin. Near Protocol is down 32%. ICP, these are huge projects with revenue generating businesses behind them and real world applications and users. It's all, these coins retrace based on emotion. People just sell everything to get out. Bears flood the market with FUD and they make you sell your paper hands. There's so many coins down here, there's too many to go through, and how far they've come is outrageous. Immutable X is at 160. You know, Say isn't a bad project. Singularity, I mean Render, there are lots of projects in this collection down here where you can go shopping and you can pick up coins today, hold them for a month or two and sell them at a 50% profit. That's what kind of correction we are in now. Now, charts wise, today we're going to have a look at Bitcoin, we're going to have a look at Link, and we're going to have a look at FET. They're the three charts we're going to have a look at today. But as always, the opening of the show is always to do with Bitcoin because it is 52% of crypto. So for me to not cover Bitcoin would be quite remiss of me. Here is why Bitcoin may hit another all-time high this year. Now remember, we're at 65,000. We're 20% from all-time highs, really, aren't we? Are we 20%? Yeah, pretty much 20% from all-time highs. We're not miles away, are we? We are 2 weeks away, 1 week away from an all-time high. On Monday or Tuesday, we went through how long it takes for these $10,000 moves in Bitcoin. We found some take 7 days, some take 14, some take 15 days, but we are talking days, not months. So we could be at all-time highs on July the 14th. We're not going to be. I'm just giving you an example of how close we are to all-time highs. Yet look at the FUD, look at the fear in the market, look at what people are scared about. They are fearful that Bitcoin is going to go to $40,000. They are fearful for all these things, and we've been through all those reasons. The liquidity, the miners. We've gone through, the FUD. We've gone through all of these things. It's not a long-term correction in the price of Bitcoin. The miners have to sell. They're not making money. They have to sell their Bitcoin. They have a finite amount of Bitcoin to sell. We've talked about it taking 6 months to flush out that Bitcoin. That takes us to October. We are almost in July, August, September, 3 more months, and the selling pressure will have gone. We will have another ETF on the books. It's all positive, but the market will make you feel negative. I said this yesterday. We will be at $85,000 and correct to $78,000, and you will have the same feeling in your stomach that you've got today. The same way that we will go to $150,000 and correct to $120,000, and you'll still have that same feeling. The feeling doesn't change, the price does. That's how they get rid of you. They make you fearful. Good morning, Gianni. Welcome back to the stream. So let's have a look at this news. Why are we going to go to another all-time high this year? The price has dropped 8% in the last 2 weeks to 65.2, but analysts expect a rebound to 72 to 74 and potentially above 100,000. Very nice. Who is saying these things? Crypto Rover, of all people, has suggested that Bitcoin has bottomed and is now poised to spike to 72 to 74. Recall the price tumbled as low as 64,000 on June 18th, but recovered as it did. Now, when we get onto the charts, I'm going to go back and remind you of something that we talked about, and we said we would hold the line then, and we did. And then there's something else I'm going to show you, which is a surprise. But the point of the matter is, when everybody expects us to go down, we go up. And when everybody expects us to go up, we go down. And that includes me. All of the signals pointed to us going on and moving on from 72 to 74,000. And we even had, for the middle of July, an $84,000 target for Bitcoin. It's unlikely we get to 84,000 by the middle of July, but all the indicators were there. And then a wave of FUD, and then a wave of selling pressure, and a wave of all these things can just spin the market on its head. That's what happens. So Titan of Crypto also chipped in, suggesting a potential rally above $100,000 before the end of 2024. Remember, yesterday people were saying we're going to hit 127,000. Now, remember, after the halving, Bitcoin takes a few months before pulverizing its previous all-time high. This time is no different, and I agree. It takes months for the supply shock to kick in. Now, the only thing I will say about this is the supply shock this time from 900 to 450 is not as brutal as going from 1800 to 900. That's the only thing I'll say about that. But the price is innumerably higher. So that is kind of counteracting the argument. But still, a 450 Bitcoin a day drop isn't as much as a 900 Bitcoin a day drop, even though we now have ETFs draining the market of Bitcoin. So we might get there sooner than October. Maybe we get there by September, but we're not far away. Ali Martinez argued that Bitcoin might yet reach its cycle top, mirroring its performance of the last bull runs. He predicts the price might peak around December 24. I mean, come on. December 2024 or October 2025, that's an 11-month difference. 18 months after the halving is when we normally top, and that is when it's happened in the past. That would take us from April to around about December next year. My theory is about October, November next year, but around that time next year. I don't think we're going to top in December. We might have a top in December. We might have an all-time high in December, but certainly next year is going to be a good one. We're going to have lower interest rates, a new president of America, people are going to have more money, the Dixie is going to collapse. It's all good. It just takes time. Crypto, trading, all of these things, it's all about patience. It's not about paper handing and getting out at FUD, because you'll paper hand your link and you'll sell it at $14 and you think it's going to go to $8. And then all of a sudden, link is at $22 and then you're only buying back 60% of what you held. That's the issue. You can't time the market. You need to time being in the market. Now remember, if you're new here, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button and give us a follow. We are also, I forgot to mention, going to look at the Kong airdrop, which I didn't have the link for yesterday. Now I do. So I'm going to go and cover that at the end. So predicting an end of year all-time high, I don't think is a bad thing to do. Now very quickly, before we get onto the Bitcoin chart, I'm going to show you the Dixie. Now, we know the S&P is at all-time highs, so we know we're not in a real market correction. This is more specific to Bitcoin. And we spoke about these various levels that we have to be careful of, and 105.95 was one of them. And we're currently sitting at 105.4, so we're just sitting here. What we want to see from the Dixie is this. But what we are seeing from the Dixie is this, which we don't want to see. Now, once interest rates get cut and the money printer gets turned back on, then we will see a move to the downside. But we want a weak Dixie, okay? Now, we're going to go, if you remember, I'm going to recap for anybody that's new and wasn't here. This was October 2023, and the Dixie was at 10, let's call it 107. The Dixie was at 107. And what did it do? It crashed from 107, and it came all the way down to roughly 101. So remember, October through to January. Look at what Bitcoin did. And again, we've covered this. Let's go back out a bit so we can see. October, and we ran all the way up and we kept on going. There is a correlation between the strength of the Dixie and the strength of Bitcoin. So we want it to break down. We want it to top out and we want it to break down. Now, we are getting to the point here where we want it to top out. Now, that could take another week, maybe the start of July. And then what we want to see is we want to see it come back down. But we need to break this line. We need to break this line, this trend line that's going up. And the only way that's going to happen is when they start printing money. And we all know how much debt America is in, and it is absolutely on its knees. But what we don't want to see is this. We don't want to see that, because Bitcoin will kind of do this, and we're not going to see that rally. Now, if that coincides with the summer months and maybe the Dixie keeps going on a run, fair enough, but we need that to break down at some point. Now, back to Bitcoin, 65.7, higher than we were yesterday by 1%, which is nice. We have moved up ever so slightly. Remember what I also said yesterday? I was talking to the Oracle about this last night. If I zoom in really, really far, you can see that we touched the bull market support band. Yes, we did. We touched the bull market support band, and we didn't go through it, did we? Nope, we bounced. So we bounced off the bull market support band, and we have come up just a touch. Now, what I'm going to show you is something I mentioned maybe at the end of last week, and I talked about moon phases. I don't know if anybody remembers that. The moon phases, which is a bit of an interesting one. So let's just stick this on the chart. Okay, now, I'm not saying that I believe in lunar cycles. I am not saying that these play out time and time again, because they don't. There's clear signs that they don't. But when there is a bear moon, or whatever it's called, we come down. And whenever there is a bull moon, we go up. And I'm sure we're going to go through this and we're going to find exceptions. Okay? But look, we go down and we go up. Okay? Now, this might sound absolutely crazy. And I understand that you might think that I am off my rocker. But I didn't make this chart. This chart exists. It's the moon phases. And we have tops and we have bottoms. And there are crypto traders. I think one of them's called Merrin. I think she's called Merrin. And she talks about the lunar phases. And these, whatever they're called, bear moons, indicate the tops. And if you look along the row, they're pretty much called the top every single time. And guess what? We are about to have a bull moon, or whatever it's called. So if we have a bull moon, if we've touched the bull market support band, is there a chance we're going to go up? Now, I know many of you might not understand or care about what this is, but it's the lunar cycle. And the lunar cycle does say that we are going to go up. Now, we can, of course, not go up. There have been occasions, I'm sure we will find one here. We didn't go up on that one. Okay, fair enough. But we did go up. we kind of corrected a little bit there, but then we went up on that one. And that one. I mean, again, this is some kind of next level sorcery that I don't understand. I admit that. But come on. It plays out. And it plays out massively. And like I said, I haven't made this up. This just exists. So I did say I would bring this up one day on the stream. And it's a good day to bring it up. We're going to have a lunar cycle. And if we go up, you can thank the moon. That's all I'm going to say. And we are going to go up. Now, where we go up, I don't know. If we get back above 67.5, delighted. Absolutely delighted. Get back into that range. That would be a solid move. If, however, we move up and hit 67 and we get rejected and we lose 65, we could come back down to this level here, which is about 60, let's call it 61,000. So we'd have to break 67.5 to get back in the range. And when I say break it, I mean this. That kind of move. Hold it. If we don't, what you might see is this, that. Now, that would tie in with, if we bring this over here, that would tie in with the top part of this, because remember, we also have a bottom part of this as well. And that bottom part brings us all the way down here, which is 52,000, which we have talked about. I just make that a bit smaller. So best case scenario is it's a lunar bull and we go up and we break this. Okay. The worst case scenario is that doesn't play out and we do that. Now, again, I don't have a crystal ball, even though I'm talking about moon phases. I don't have a crystal ball. I certainly don't have a witch's hat or a wizard's hat. Just be careful. So you've now learned something new today, and that is moon phases can affect the price of crypto. And that's just the way it is. And I don't have a reason why, but it just happens. So there you go. Now we're going to move on. Now we're going to move on and talk about Ethereum. Good morning, Tariq. I hope you managed to catch the moon phase then. I hope you managed to catch that because it does play out and it is crazy. Now, VanEck is one of the more sensible ETFs out there. They're one of the first ones to start looking at lowering rates, offering deals where you might get, I don't know, 12 months or 18 months of their ETF for free, not pay any fees and very low fees. So they're one of the smaller ones, one of the good guys. Now they reckon we're going to hit $22,000 on Ethereum. I think 12 to 15,000, and that's with an ETF. I have said in the past 20,000, but that's it's almost a 7x from here, and I don't know whether it's got the legs to do that, because for Ethereum to get to $22,000, Bitcoin would need to be at $250,000, $280,000, around that mark. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Let's go through this and have a look. So Matthew Siegel issues epic Ethereum price prediction. And remember, it is a prediction. It's the same way you ask somebody before a football match, who's going to win today, Scotland or Germany? And everyone's going to go around the table, 1-0 Germany, 2-0 Germany. Roy Keane will say 5-1 Germany. Somebody else who's Scottish will say 1-0 Scotland, right? They're all predictions. You don't pull them up after the game and say, hang on a minute, you said Scotland would win 1-0. No, because it's a prediction. These are barely worth the paper that they're written on, as is everything I say, as is everything anybody else says, because you are the only person that matters, and what you decide is based solely on your decisions. You can listen to me and 20 other people and make your own decision. I am only reporting on this and giving my opinion on this. As I've said, 12 to 15,000 for me, max for Ethereum. They suggest 22,000. So let's get into why. Siegel's predictions coincide with a recent market rebound, which saw the price of Ethereum move back above 3,500. His bullish prediction was released in the VanEck groundbreaking ETH 2030 report. According to details, they set a $154,000 bull case, a $22,000 base case, and a $340 bear case. And they said bear case. Well, there we go. Whilst unpacking the report in a Bankless interview, Siegel highlighted that Ethereum must achieve a 70% market share of all Layer 1 blockchains to reach $22,000 base case. To provide context, he noted that Ethereum's market share is currently at 58% in the past year. This is the market share of fees paid by users. Accordingly, he emphasized the need to improve Ethereum's scaling roadmap. He said the firm is getting more bullish on Ethereum and the broader crypto ecosystem. He said this in response to questions about why VanEck revised Ethereum's base case from 11,000 a year earlier, which again I would have agreed with wholeheartedly. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Right, okay, that makes sense. He also said that this change was based on expectations of acceleration in the present bull market after the US presidential campaign. We know about this. Ethereum is a productive asset that lets anyone open a storefront on its network. We know about this. Now, I happen to agree with most of what he is saying, but I don't think it needs to improve its market share. I think the market share of an expanding market will naturally grow the ecosystem of Ethereum, of Cardano, of Solana, of AVAX, of all of the layer ones. They will just naturally grow to a point where they either reach a profitable size or they collapse and merge, which is probably going to be the case for some of the smaller chains. I can see some chains merging in the future. They just don't have the users. So I could see some of the smaller chains, Phantom being one. Some of the Cosmos chains, I could see them merging users. It's likely to happen. That's what happens in any cycle. But Ethereum, I don't think it needs to improve its market share. I think it needs to hold its market share. So I do kind of agree as well. The approval of the spot ETF is important. I don't even think we're going to see a $10,000 Ethereum without an ETF. So all in all, do I think we're going to see $22,000? No. Do I think it's a fair target? Absolutely. Remember, it's a 2030 target as well. So I certainly don't see $120,000 on the cards for Ethereum even in 6 years' time. I just don't see it happening. It's not. It's a big ask. It's a big ask. Right, where are we? We are 11:35. Got 25 minutes to go through 5 articles. I think we are still on time. Remember, if you're new here, smash the like button, say hello in chat, let me know what you are up to. We can clearly see the number of users who are not watching now because of the market correction. We've noticed it from the middle of May. So we've seen a month now of just this lethargy, people not interested in crypto. The views have dropped off, everything's dropped off because people are just worn out. We've been in this range for such a long period of time, people are just fed up of it all, they can't be bothered. They'll come back when the good times are here. So if you are here, congratulations for being here, and thank you for watching. That's what I would say to you. Right, Mode integrates Chainlink CCIP as cross-chain interoperability standard. Now, why is Chainlink important to have in your portfolio? Very simply, it connects blockchains together. It connects real-world companies to the blockchain. It connects real-world finance to the blockchain. It connects everything. It's one great big interoperable mass, and it's only going to get bigger. And of course, it takes a fraction of the fees. If you've ever seen Superman with Richard Pryor, you will know how he became a millionaire. He took that 0.00001 cent out of everybody's bank account, put it into his, made millions. Chainlink obviously isn't stealing the money. Chainlink is taking 0.0001 cent off every transaction that goes across CCIP or has any connection through Chainlink. That's how it makes its funds. So as far as holding Chainlink is concerned, you would be holding a token associated with a profitable business. That's how you should start to look at crypto. We are getting to the point where it's all well and good that this blockchain gives out free NFTs, that this blockchain gives out free airdrops, but at some point there has to be a monetary value associated with those chains, those projects, and those airdrops. What makes money in crypto? Exchanges, decentralized exchanges, oracles, yield farming makes money in crypto. Real world assets, of course, make money in crypto because they're connected to real world profitable businesses. AI tokens have a revenue model. There's loads of them out there. Don't buy a project because it's got a shiny new thing or a shiny new button that you can press. That's not how it's going to work. So think about having a portfolio with assets that make money. One second. There we go. Okay, we're back. I watch the stream back, or I've got the stream on replay in the corner, and whenever anything pops up like an advert, I just hide it. Right then, so ETH Layer 2 blockchain Mode has officially integrated Chainlink's CCIP as its interoperability standard. The integration provides Mode with Chainlink's features, including programmable token transfers, cross-chain arbitrary messaging, which are essential for a diverse range of decentralized finance and real-world asset applications. Choosing the only interoperability solution with level 5 security as canonical cross-chain infrastructure can accelerate the long-term growth and adoption of Mode, said James Ross, core contributor at Mode. He highlighted the importance of Chainlink's CCIP advanced features. Also remember, when you are connecting chains together, when you are looking at wormholes, when you are looking at passing tokens from one chain to another, all of that is vulnerable to attack. All of that is vulnerable to hacking attempts. What Chainlink does is it gives you a cast iron way of moving dollars, crypto, whatever it might be, NFTs, from one chain to another without fear of being hacked. And also, you're not having to reinvent the wheel. If you want to connect into Chainlink's other opportunities, other chains, you connect to it and it just opens everything up. You're not having to sit there and pay programmers to redevelop and develop these contracts that can be attacked. So it's a great move. And Polygon also have something similar. They got the AG layer. I talk about it all the time. I think I've even made a video about it. The AG layer is pooled liquidity across any blockchain, not just Ethereum. It could go across AVAX, go across Solana. So there's this connecting of all of these different chains together is what we need to see, because retail don't want to come to crypto and not understand why their $50 on Solana won't work on an Ethereum DeFi platform. We're not there yet. We're getting closer. Now, the CCIP facilitated $12 trillion in transaction value. $12 trillion. Okay? That's an incredible amount of money. And they take a fraction of that. The integration also includes the Risk Management Network, a specialized framework designed to monitor and verify cross-chain operations. So this is massive news. I don't know about Mode. I've never seen them pop up on anything we've really talked about. It's obviously a smaller chain. But the point of the matter is, you want to look at using a gold standard if you're a new chain. And that gold standard, one of the gold standards is, of course, Chainlink. And you could probably pick 40 or 50 crypto assets, which I would consider to be gold standards. And that's not a bad thing, because you don't want 5,000 crypto projects and all 5,000 of them being junk. So it's important to have a certain number of what I would call long-term winners. Now, believe it or not, we've still got the moon phases on these charts. Let's get rid of the moon phases for now. There we go. So what did we do? We came down and we bounced off this fib level at $14 roughly. We've come back up to $14.50. We're going to see, I don't know if it's going to show it on the weekly, we're going to see resistance at 1586. So 1586 is where we could come up to. Now, what we want to see is this, maybe a little wobble there. We want to see this. That's what we want. A breakthrough, a retest, and a pop-up. Now, what we don't want to see, and what could also happen with Bitcoin at 67.4, is we have this relief rally, we touch this bull market support band, and we go down. What do we say about the bull market support band on this channel? When you are beneath it, it's like being trapped beneath ice on a lake, and it's hard to break out of. When we're above the bull market support band, it's like being on a bouncy castle or a trampoline, and you bounce off it. And we can go back in time, over any currency, any crypto asset, and we can find times where it's bounced. Now, I did say to you before, Bitcoin has just come down and touched its bull market support band, did I not? Okay, I've just moved the wrong thing there. Try again. Right, now, this is a good example. It was stuck, and it took the fourth attempt to break out. As I said, it's like being trapped beneath ice. Once it breaks out, once it gets up, it's come back down. What did it do? It tested, and then it went off to the races. That's what we want to see. We want to see it break this bull market support band. I know the Oracle doesn't use this in his TA. He uses far more technical indicators than I use. In fact, he's already written, he's got his own indicator, simple significance, that he uses on his channel, and it works perfectly. The other thing you could say, which is a bullish move for Link, is it's come down and touched this line here. And that was incredible support. Okay, so we've touched that level again. The RSI, every time the RSI has got down to this level, it has bounced. So again, the indications, like I said yesterday, we're going to see a bit of a rally. You know, even getting back towards $16 is a 10% move. So tomorrow we could be sitting here and there could be 150 coins, all with a 10% gain. The hard part then is getting above resistance. If we don't, we're going to come further down. That's the issue. So although it's nice to have a green day, you know, we're up 1.7%, on link today. If we do this, we could very well break and come down towards $11.40. We could. And I know people say you can't say coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm 70% confident that we're going to have a green few days. Bitcoin has just touched the bull market support band and moved away from it. Lots of these coins, not just Chainlink, they're stuck in the same position. We're going to look at FET next, and we're going to see the chart is in a similar pattern. So we can see 10% moves very quickly. If I was going to get into some long positions, I would get into some long positions today. But I don't leverage trade. But I would certainly look to be buying coins at these prices. These are prices that if I'd have told you when Chainlink was at $20, if I said to you, do you want to buy $100 worth of Chainlink for $14, you'd snap my hand off. And here we are now, and you're worried that it's going to keep going down. We've hit support levels. We've hit bull market support bands. We've had big moves to the downside. Nothing goes down forever. And Fetch is a perfect example of that. Fetch has been absolutely smashed and has now rallied. How long have we got left? 14 minutes. Yeah, okay. Right, I don't know if we're going to have enough time to go through this. We'll go through the brief. FET is expected to dissolve next month as it forms Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. I'm massively bullish on this coin for many reasons. One is, I think it's the right move. Two, I think it's going to create a coin that's going to have more added value than the three of them on their own. And three, we're heading into a bull run. This vote happened the day before the halving. This was supposed to happen in June, this month. It's going to happen next month. It's going to have a big rally until it gets to price discovery and it finds a bottom. Some people think $5. Now, if Fetch is 1-to-1 with ASI and it's $1.40 and people are predicting a $5 ASI, you do the math. That's a 350% move. Now, I don't think that's going to happen today or tomorrow, but it will happen. Fetch price is likely to consolidate between $1 and $1.70, with investors showing no bullish signs, despite some hodling. Investor sentiment remains bearish, indicating limited potential for a rally. Interesting that, because I think this was written before the rally. So we know they're going to merge. They're saying there's no bullish move. We've seen this huge price move down. Let's go very quickly to the chart because we don't have a lot of time. We've still got... we've also got BOEM to look at. Yeah, we've got a lot to do. Well, we don't want to go over by too much. Right, so what happened? We went into this huge rally. Price discovery, it ran all the way up. We went up towards $3.38. We've lost 50% of the value. We came down from price discovery and we're in this beautiful range here. And then, of course, Bitcoin decided to spoil the party. Do you know what? These moon phases, they work on every chart. I'm not going to point out everything on every chart, but I might have to start including these because these are serious patterns. Now then, what happened? We came down and we touched previous price action. Not much, admittedly, but we wicked down to that level there. And we bounced, as we always have to bounce. Now, I'm going to drag this up so you can see it. Look at the state of the RSI. It's massively oversold, massively oversold. So it has to come back up. Sellers can get exhausted as well as buyers. Bears get exhausted the same way bulls get exhausted, and they can only keep things down for so long. Now, if we very quickly go to the weekly and have a peek, the bottom of that bull market support band is about 181, and we've come up to 175. So we're not far off getting to the point I've just been talking about with Chainlink. Now, would I be buying FET at this price? Yes, I'm not going to, because I bought mine at 40 cents and I don't want to buy any more because I can't buy everything that I watch. But we've come back up to this 175. We've kind of retraced a little bit, but we have to go and test this area here. Okay, now interestingly enough, the top of the bull market support band is not far off the bottom of this. So what I would like to see, and again I don't get what I want, I would like to see this kind of action where we get back above $2, we test it again, and then we start to range between $2 and $2.50. Now again, the cutoff for this token, I believe, is about, is it about here or is it about here? I think it's about here. So that blue line down there, that is the end of FET. There will be no more after this day. So I would expect some kind of rally to about this point, at least $2.60 by July the 15th, because that's when the token will cease to exist and it will become ASI. And then I expect it to pump. That's what I want to see. And I'm 70% sure that something like that is going to happen as long as Bitcoin doesn't wet the bed anymore. Now, we are going to move on very quickly because we are herring out of time. So meme coin dominance in altcoin market plummets, latest data reveals. Before I even read the article, just to point out, meme coins are the first things to crash. They're also the first things to pump. So whenever we see Bitcoin move to the upside, if we see a 1% move up today on Bitcoin and it gets back towards 66.4, 66.5, guess what? All of the meme coins are going to rip 10, 15, 20%. It's just the way it is. The same way Bitcoin goes down 2%, meme coins don't go down 25%. They have a very, is it an alpha or a beta against Bitcoin? They move by multiples in the same direction. So Bitcoin goes up 1, it goes up 10x. Bitcoin goes down 1, it goes down 15x. It's just the way it works. So of course, when Bitcoin is in a corrective phase, the market is in a corrective phase, the meme coins suffer even more. But as that famous expression was, reports of my death seem to be premature. And that's what I would say about meme coins. I don't think they're going to go anywhere, but let's see what this article has to say. There's a very scared looking dog with its little paws up. Looks like it's going to cry with little arrows pointing down. Very sad. Dominance of meme coins in the altcoin market has been declining since April. So has the price of Bitcoin. According to Crypto Quant, the liquidity in the meme coin market has doubled since the start of the year. Of course it has, because meme's been on a rip since the start of the year. Stating the obvious again, 2 or 3 times. Kim Young-Yu, CEO and founder of Crypto Quant, explained that the decline in the dominance of meme coins in the altcoin market could be related to investors shifting from gambling to focusing on fundamentals. Pack it up, lads, it's over. No, it isn't. It will never be over, because there are too many degens out there that want to gamble. That's why they're not going to go anywhere. And if they do gamble, they will go off and have a look at another area. Don't think that this is the end of the road for meme coins. That is not the case. I mean, if you look back here to his very own graph, we were lower on dominance in March 2024. Okay? We haven't massively retraced. If you go back to September 2022, we're at the same level. If you go back to March 2023, same level. What other? October 2023, same level. It's in waves. All of these things happen in waves. Bitcoin spikes and then spends 10 times the amount of time retracing. Ethereum spikes and then spends 10 times the same amount of time retracing. We only go up 30% of the time. You know, there's a great book. I can't remember. Tony Robbins wrote a book called Unshakable. It's a great book, and I've read it a couple of times. And if you sell on the 10 worst days, I think it's something like that, the 10 worst days in stock market history, you will miss the 30 or 50 greatest days in stock market history, because you're selling the wrong time. And that's the thing with people. If you start to see Bitcoin hit $57,000 and you panic and sell, you're going to miss the rally. That's all you're going to do. You're going to miss the rally. Now, there are patient people out there that will have sold at $70,000 and waited for us to get back to $60,000 to buy back in. Fine. There are people that have done that. But on the whole, if this isn't your day job, you should be holding, and you shouldn't be worried about what the price is today. You should be worried about what the price is when you go to sell. And that should be October, August, November next year. So if the price of Bitcoin goes to $10,000 tomorrow and you're not planning to sell for 14 months, why does it matter? The only way it should matter is if you start to sell furniture in your house to buy more Bitcoin at $10,000. You know, you sell your cat, you sell your car, you sell your fence, you sell your hedge, you sell everything to buy at $10,000. That's the only thing you should look at, because these retractions and retracements should be opportunities to top up your portfolio in areas where you're lacking. And we've said it before, I'm not going to say it today. That's what you should be doing. And that includes meme coins, believe it or not. The cost of trading these tokens remains high with bid-ask spreads. Well, you don't really care about that. Meme tokens, 1% market depth. Again, this is all bullish news for meme coins. I've given up trying to call them all out as scams because some of them aren't. Meme coins is still the crypto narrative with the best performance in Q1. So far, according to CoinGecko, average price growth of meme coins is 1,300%. Outshining real-world assets, which of course is what you really want to be into. If you've made 1,300% in a meme coin so far, you should be looking at buying Ondo or Mantra or ICP or Chainlink. That's what you should be looking at. Now we're going to go and look at a chart of a coin that's very close to my heart, and that is BOEM, Book of Meme. Why is it close to my heart? Because I absolutely called this one, that's why. And the reason I called it is very simple. It's not on this chart because it was added later, but we'll go back up to the top. There we go. I told you not to buy the coin at this price and wait for it to retrace to 1.1 or 1.4 cents. That's the reason it's close to my heart. I actually nailed it on this coin, and I don't do that very often. I'm not that proficient, but I did nail it on that price. Now, the good news is it's come down below that level, and we are now at the bottom of this red range, and we all know that this is the buy zone. What's important about this coin is that it's powered by Dark Fams. Dark Fams is the guy that makes all the memes. So all of these little Pepe drawings, all of these little Biden and Bowden, all these drawings, he does them. That's his artwork. This is his coin. He's burning them. What he's doing is auctioning off his one-of-one original artworks, and he's selling them on an auction for BOEM. And then when people pay him, he's burning the BOEM. So that's his burn mechanism. It's unusual, yes. It's different, yes. But it's also really good at honouring different price levels. We talk about these steps up. We talk about it all the time, don't we? What happens when you follow the steps up is when you come back down, you follow the steps down. And all of these areas help support the price of a coin. We will see innumerable coins. In fact, this very coin itself, at the very beginning when it ripped so high that it had no support. It came crashing straight back down. It had its second pump. Again, there's no history. It crashes. It then finds its level. And when it finds its level, it creates its own history. So you can look at the history and decide what the next leg is. And those legs help you on the way down because you know where your entry points are. Now this coin, it's a meme coin, so of course it's going to be battered more than everything else. But every time we have come down here, which admittedly has only been 2 times before, we have bounced. Now, I am not going to say what you think I'm going to say, but there is a moon soon, and we're probably going to move back up on BOEM. So if you want to get into a meme coin, BOEM is a good meme coin. I'm not shilling it. I hold like $50 of it. It's not a great hold for me, but I like it because it's got good price action. We always like good price action because you can see things. It telegraphs where it's going to go. So we can see on here, before we go away, we can see on here what's going to happen. We are going to come up to this price level here, which is about 1.1 cent. Then we're going to come up here, which is 1.28 cents. And then if we do finally break up, it's going to come to 1.56 cents. It already tells you where it's going to go to. It's already told you its price targets. Just take everything off the screen, but these levels here. I'm going to add another line there. So look at that level there. Look at that level there, and then look at that level about there. Okay, so it's told you the prices. You don't have to guess. You know if it can get to 1.1 cent, it can go to 1.34 cents, and it can go to 1.49 cents. It's telling you. That's how I read the charts, because I am basic. I am not Mr. Oracle himself. Now, what are we? 12:01. We have gone absolutely flying over time. So I am going to skip the iExec. And the reason I'm going to skip it is I'm going to cover it probably tomorrow, because it was for a couple of people in chat and none of them are in chat. So what I am going to do is I'm going to tell you about a free airdrop that you can go and farm. Now, something I need to caveat here. I am not sponsored by this company. They haven't paid us a penny. Okay, I made a video about it, and very quickly and very simply, it is a clicky game like you see on, what's it called, on Telegram, like Notcoin, whatever. You feed the monkey, you connect your wallet and you feed the monkey. It is not a scam under any circumstances, because it's backed by a legitimate project. It's not just a fly-by-night company that have said, you know what, we're just going to launch a random meme coin and try and get everybody to sign up, get all the wallet addresses, etc. No. You connect your wallet, which I'm not going to do. You click on here, you feed him the bananas, he gets bigger, he goes from a baby to a youth to an adult. That is all you have to do. The link should be in the description if you want to go and play it. And if not, then there really isn't a lot I can say, because I can't talk about these things. However, it is there if you want to go and play it. And that is pretty much it. We are at the end of the show. However, before I go, does anybody have any questions about anything I've covered today in chat? I'm going to give you a minute or two in chat to type any questions you've got. If anybody wants any videos making, I have got nothing planned for this afternoon. So drop your projects that you want covering in chat now, and I will go and pick the one that I like the look of the most, and I will make a video about it this afternoon. And while you're doing that, I am going to bring up TradingView again and go and have a quick look at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin always moves between the start and the end of the show. So let's see, we were at 65.6, I believe, when I started the stream. What are we at now? 65.7. So we haven't really moved. We've moved 1% in the last 24 hours. We've gone up $684. So we were struggling at the bottom of 65. We're now back up. If this moon phase really works, let's go back to the 1 hour. The 1 hour was starting to look a little bit overbought. But you know what? Again, there's not a lot we can do with Bitcoin. Wait for the markets to open and then see what is what. Now, if none of you have any projects that you want me to cover, I am likely to do probably a meme coin video. I've got one that I'm going to cover. I might make a video about Daddy, believe it or not. Daddy is the meme coin associated with Andrew Tate. I might make a video about that, because that, I think, could be poised for another leg up. It's just one of those coins. It's retraced now. In fact, do we have the price action of Daddy? Now, I wouldn't normally go anywhere near a token like this. Let me just point that out there. It is not my thing. I am not a massive fan of a lot of what they talk about, but that's not holding me back. There are reasons I don't cover Polkadot on the stream, and for my opinion, they're very valid reasons. There's reasons I don't cover WorldCoin that often, which we're not going to go into. But Daddy Coin, just because I don't like the individual doesn't mean I can't look at the coin. These are the coins that I won't look at, Polkadot and WorldCoin. I don't like them for very specific reasons, and they're sinister reasons. Andrew Tate just runs his mouth. That's it. And I can't not like him because he runs his mouth. Loads of people run their mouth. Can't not like somebody. There's footballers that play for Manchester United that run their mouths, and doesn't mean I don't like them. Now, we have been in this downward channel. Suppose you could say we've been like this. I can't go any further out. It doesn't have a lot of price action on this chart. I'd have to go and have a look. But I think we are due for a breakout. He has got a burn mechanism, which is himself. He's buying the coins and he's burning them. So I'm going to go and have a look at Daddy, and I might cover it in the stream tomorrow. So given that I've not heard from many of you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. I will see you all in the morning. Take care, relax, wait for a pump, and enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the fresh air wherever you may be. And I will see you all in the morning. Take care.